Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in the last session we have discussed about actinoids. There we considered electronic configuration of actinoids, oxidation state, ionic radii. Okay, yes. Now in this session we are going to consider the last concept of the chapter, that is okay, similarities, differences and uses. Similarities of lanthanides and actinoids, differences of lanthanides and what is the differences between lanthanides and actinides, and uses of particularly actinides. In the last session we have considered uses of lanthanides. Well, now in this session we consider the uses of a actinides. Now coming to the general characteristics of a actinoids. Yes, the first one, the actinide metals. The actinide metals are silvery in appearance. So as like we considered lanthanides, they are silvery white soft metals. Similarly, actinide metals are all silvery in appearance. Okay. Then the actinides are highly reactive metals. In comparison, if you compare with the lanthanides, yes, actinides are highly reactive metals, especially when they are finely divided. Means in the amorphous form or in powdered form, their reactivity is enhanced. Okay, yes. First thing, actinide metals are silvery in appearance. Okay. Then second thing, the actinides are highly reactive metals, especially when they are finely divided. Next thing, hydrochloric acid attacks. If you consider reaction with acids, HCl, mineral acids like hydrochloric acid. So hydrochloric acid attacks all metals. Means these actinides readily interact with the hydrochloric acid, but most are slightly affected by nitric acid. If you consider a reaction with nitric acid, they are slightly affected by nitric acid. What is the cause for this? Means since whenever that actinides comes in contact with the nitric acid, what happens? There will be formation of a oxide layer on its surface. Okay, a oxide layer is formed on its surface. So this oxide layer act as a protective layer, or I can say barrier between what? Between the element, that metal, and acid. Therefore nitric acid shows a slight effect, or I can say effect, on the actinides. Yes, hydrochloric acid attacks all metals, but if you consider nitric acid is going to slightly affect metals owing to the formation of a protective film, or I can say protective oxide layer on their surface. And regarding alkalis have no action on lanthanides. Okay, well, then the variation in the magnetic susceptibility, if you consider the magnetic property is going to vary largely. The variation in the magnetic susceptibility, or I can say paramagnetism, of actinoids with the number of unpaired 5f electrons is parallel to corresponding result from lanthanides. As like lanthanides, they show paramagnetism. Similarly, this actinoids also shows paramagnetism. Yes, and this paramagnetism depends on what? It depends on the number of electrons present in 5f orbitals. Okay, yes. Next thing, if you consider similarities, how they are similar from one another, since both belongs to the same block, F block itself, therefore there is a similarity between lanthanides and actinides. Yes, what are the similarities between lanthanides and actinides? Means, say both shows mainly an oxidation state of +3. So for both the lanthanides and actinides, what is the common oxidation state? +3 is the common oxidation state. Therefore, what is the one similarity? Both show mainly an oxidation state of +3 is the first similarity. Next one, both are electropositive. Lanthanides are electropositive and actinides are also electropositive, and they are very reactive. So if I consider their electropositive nature, yes, both lanthanides and actinides are electropositive, and at the same time both are very reactive. So is the second similarity. Okay, well, next, actinides exhibit actinide contraction like lanthanide contraction shown by lanthanides. We know about lanthanide contraction, right? So actinide shows actinide contraction, lanthanides show lanthanide contraction, means is the one more similarity between lanthanides and actinides. Okay, the third similarity, first they show common oxidation state as a +3, both are electropositive and very reactive, both shows contraction. Lanthanides show lanthanide contraction while actinides show actinide contraction. Okay, well, next thing, most of the cations of lanthanides and actinides having unpaired electron, they are paramagnetic, means both the lanthanides and actinides show paramagnetism. Okay, so both lanthanides and actinides show paramagnetism. So as we consider the compounds of lanthanides, yes, they show paramagnetic nature, that is both, or I can say most of the cations of lanthanides and actinides having an unpaired electron, they are paramagnetic, means both shows a paramagnetism, so it becomes the similarity. Okay, this is the next similarity. Well, now if we consider the differences as well as similarities, the okay, now we have to consider the differences between lanthanides and actinides, how they differ from one another actually. So the magnetic properties, if we consider magnetic property, what is that? Paramagnetism. Okay, yes, coming to the differences, what is the first difference I am saying? The magnetic properties of actinides. Yes, we said both shows paramagnetism, but the magnetic properties of actinides are more complex. The magnetic properties of actinides are more complex than those of lanthanides, means paramagnetism of lanthanides can be easily explained, but what about actinides? It cannot be easily explained. There is more complexity in the paramagnetism exhibited by actinides. Okay, is the one difference. Well, next one, the ionization enthalpies of early actinides. The ionization enthalpies of early actinides are lower than early lanthanides. Well, the ionization enthalpy of early actinides are lower than early lanthanides. So is the secondary difference. So first difference what we said regarding their magnetic properties, that is paramagnetism, and second thing, their ionization enthalpies. Okay, ionization enthalpy of early actinides are lower compared to actinides. Then third difference is most of the lanthanide ions are colorless. Okay, most of the lanthanide ions are colorless, whereas actinide ions are colored. So is the third difference. Next thing, if we consider applications of D and A block elements, overall, what I can say, many of the metals and their compounds are essential catalyst in the chemical industry, means most of the compounds are elements of both D and A block elements. They are used as a catalyst in chemical industry and used in varieties of steels, catalyst, complexes, organic synthesis, etc. Okay. Then say for example, MnO2, zinc, nickel, cadmium are used in the batteries. Okay, Mn pyrolusite ore, a paste of MnO2, zinc, nickel, cadmium, they are used in the manufacture of a batteries. Then silver and gold are used in UK in copper coins. These are the major applications of a D and A block elements. Well, then coming to the catalyst in chemistry. So vanadium pentoxide, V2O5, vanadium pentoxide, which catalyzes what? Catalyzes the oxidation of sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide. Where this method is used? It is used in the manufacture of sulfuric acid. Means here oxide, vanadium pentoxide act as a catalyst. Then Ziegler-Natta catalyst. Ziegler-Natta catalyst, what it is? A mixture of titanium tetrachloride plus aluminum alkyl. Okay, Al are taken 3 times, a alkyl group, alkyl, or I can say aryl groups. So which is used, this catalyst, a mixture of titanium tetrachloride and AlR3 is named as a Ziegler-Natta catalyst and is used in the manufacture of polythene. Okay, then Next, iron, which is used as a catalyst, and molybdenum, which is used as a catalytic promoter in the manufacture of ammonia by Haber's process. A finely powdered iron, which is used as a catalyst in Haber's process. And what about molybdenum, which is used as a catalytic promoters. Okay, well, then lead chloride, PbCl2, which is used as a catalyst in Wacker's process for the oxidation of ethane to ethanol. Okay, well, the nickel complexes are useful in polymerization of alkynes and other organic compounds such as benzene. If you consider nickel complexes, those complexes are also used as a catalyst in the polymerization of alkynes as well as other organic compounds. Okay, then photographic industry. If you consider photographic industry, it totally depends on what? The photosensitive properties of a silver bromide in the preparation of photographic, okay, plates, or in the generation of image, a negative of the image. All the things are generated only because of a compound called a silver bromide. That is, silver bromide is a photosensitive substance, is going to create an image on that photographic plate. Therefore, we say that photographic industry depends on what? A special light sensitive properties of silver bromide, AgBr. Okay, well, now if you compare lanthanides and actinides, so comparison of lanthanides and actinides. Well, comparison of lanthanides and actinides, just comparison. We consider the properties lanthanides and actinides. So here, first property is the oxidation states. Okay, yes, we know common oxidation state is +3 for both lanthanides and actinides. Other than +3, the lanthanides also shows +2 and +4 oxidation states. Okay, ಈ lanthanides ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ common oxidation state is +3. Along with +3, they even show +2 and +4 oxidation states. Then, if you consider actinoids, yes, for actinoids also +3 is the common oxidation state. Along with +3, they even show +2, +4, +5, +6 and +7 oxidation states. Okay, yes. Then next one, binding energy. Now here, in case of lanthanides, they have higher binding energy as it is a 4f series. Binding energy, since size is less, so they are going to have higher binding energy. Then on the other hand, actinides, they have lower binding energy because it is going to have a 5f series. Next thing, complex formation. The lanthanides have low tendency, they have a low tendency to form complex compounds. What about actinides? Because of this variable oxidation state, long range of oxidation state, yes, they have a more tendency to form complex compounds. Okay, well, is the another comparison regarding complex formation. The next one, basic character. Their oxides and hydroxides are less basic. That is, lanthanide oxides and hydroxides are less basic, while actinide oxides and hydroxides are more basic. Next one, radioactivity. Except promethium, all lanthanides are non-radioactive. Except promethium, all lanthanides are non-radioactive in nature. What about actinides? All actinides are radioactive. Okay. Next, color. If you consider, some of the tri-positive ions are colored. In case of lanthanides, some of the tri-positive ions are colored. But what about actinides? Most of the positive ions are colored. Then paramagnetic nature. The lanthanides, their paramagnetic nature can be easily explained. And what about actinides? Their paramagnetic nature cannot be explained easily. Means their magnetic property is complex. Then formation of oxo ions. Lanthanides, they do not form any oxo ions. But what about actinides? Yes, actinides form oxo anions like UO2 2+, PuO2 2+, etc. Okay. So with this, I am going to conclude the chapter. Okay, thank you. Be safe.